Lots of pieces to this one. Along with this, acoustically, and electrically, which is actually, I think, here too. Regardless. And so forth. The interesting things come in a little bit later. Into the lead. The first one, Pete Black's Craziness. And you go right back into the which you can do all sorts of stuff with, of course, but in solo is kind of nice. It's harmonies. If you watch the live version as a kind of a somewhat of a trade, it's not really a trade-off. It's mostly, I mean, it's listed in the album as Pete and then Andy, but it's really Pete and Andy when they play it live, and then Pete and Andy. So this whole... Actually, there. This would be the Andy part. Yeah. And he has that crazy little Andy thing. Pete resumes. The G. Yeah, it's a G. It's just a lovely little thing. I think together the harmony is like a... Actually, they do. Something like that. Could be. That is right. Yeah, that's it. Something like that. Together with this whole would be something like you could do this, but I think it's here, followed by something like that. Yeah. So it'd be and there is a little bit of kind of perceived slop. It's interesting stuff. So today, I'm running let's see if I'm right about this, yeah, an emulation of the same amp that was used during the Them and Conspiracy albums. Well, I'm not using the same amp. I'm using a profile of the same amp, which is a Gallon-Kruger 250 ml. Going through... Yeah, I think that's it. Going through it. No cabinet emulation or anything like that. It's just on there. So whoever did this did a bang-up job. Because this... They got the sounds. I wish I had this for the Welcome Home thing. That whole... Yeah. Been a while. Anyway, find it amusing, fun, good. So, how is everyone? I've been working on a couple of things, mainly Tea. This is the funny thing about Tea, is that for me it's a summertime tune. I learned it once 12 years ago for my 25th guitar anniversary. Been playing a quarter century, gonna learn the whole Them album, and I did. I didn't learn most of the leads though at the time. I remember kind of chickening out. I didn't have the ear for it really, but I did go through a lot of tablature at the time. I did a few things by ear-ish, especially when the tab seemed wrong. I mean, that whole... They didn't talk about a lot of the stuff. This clearly... You can hear the... in there. There's no tabs for that. Should totally be in there. It all just looks like... And live, you see Pete Black playing. It's there's a lot more stuff in there than tabs reveal. Also, this whole sounds good, but that's not what they play. It's what they actually play, which is like playing this here, but it's just those two notes. Still an F and a G, but an F E again. But this time it's for the marbles. Yeah, I have an intent this time. It's been a while since I've done a King cover, King Diamond cover, whatever, last year. And I think it's time. In fact, it's been a while since I've done any covers whatsoever, but I think it's time. And I think I need to start with Tea. I had an intent a while ago anyway to cover every single tune with every single lead from the Them album and eventually crack the same code with Conspiracy. But, I just haven't been in a good position to do that. I'm in a better position to do that now. I wouldn't say it's a great position to do it, but at least I'm going to get Tea out of the way at some point in the next coming weeks or so. I had a question, though. By a protege of mine, I would say. Parasocial protege. The name's Rafi, good guy. he was wondering about if G sharp major was the same as F minor, because it has the same notes in it. And I think that this is a very good time to discuss things of that nature, because there's some time. This is not going to be the longest stream in the world. I know I usually start around 5:30 to 6, but I was working on tea. Anyway, and I'm working on tea right now. But so these notes are the same. They just start on in different places. The neat part about it is because they are effectively the same. You can play either of them over the chords that correspond with either of them. So let's say I'm just playing an F minor. Pretty easy. You'll be inextricably led to play over with F. If, on the other hand, we were playing G, like something very happy, and I'll play F minor over that, if I play it right. Use proper fingering when you can, though. You notice, though, that because they have the same notes, they are effectively the same scale. There's different positions of the same scale. It's not the scale that you play, like, inherently that determines what key you're playing in. I can play an F sharp minor, but let's just say I'm playing in C. Sounds good. Really, though, I'm not playing in C, Phrygian. What you're playing over is usually what determines, what it is. And the more complex, harmonically speaking, the structure is beneath what you're playing, the more it locks you into a specific key. So if I was just playing one, no extras, I just got a root and a 5, well, I can play all sorts of things over that. I could go nuts, harmonically speaking. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. Because if you're just playing one note, that's still, kind of going to determine the harmony. It's kind of Lydian. Well, there's no G in that. Let me try this again without tapping poorly. You can do all sorts of things with it. But when I start talking about things like it's not the scale that you play that determines the key. The scale's only kind of a part of it. It's more notes that you can find that can maybe help direct where the music's going. But I wouldn't necessarily say that just playing F minor, because you can equally say that you're starting the G sharp major scale on the 6th. And it'd still be right. In fact, that's one of the most confusing things about most scale books. Scales and modes and stuff like that. They'll show you like a block form of the scale from a single position, and let's say it's C major, and they're showing you a minor scale. What's clearly, to me at least, how everything works together is a minor scale. It's got a flat third, fourth, flat 6, flat 7, Aeolian. But they'll circle C as the root. And they don't explain to you that this is just, this played from the 5th position starting on the 6th string, from the 6th, or if we were to play Mixolydian, starting from the 5th. They don't do anything like that. They should, but they don't. And I think it would be better if when you're teaching things positionally, you show how they connect together, kind of like Lego blocks or big Tetris pieces. That this first notes here, here for this 3-note per string scale goes with the next set of notes, the next set of notes, the next set of notes, which is a little harder to play, admittedly. And I'm not talking about chordally speaking. I'm just talking about literal shapes. And how those kind of will work together to form one massive shape on the fretboard. Like all these notes are involved and no other notes are involved. But adding those other notes that aren't involved can add to real interesting melodic flavors. And keep in mind, it's really not even about keys specifically, but like tonal centers. If I'm playing like just... That's a very diminished thing, because it is diminished, and I can play diminished things over it. Now I could play all day long, it's fine. But if I wanted to do make a harmony to it, go up a third, or even you can throw stuff in there. You can be kind of free and explore the space, and kind of like jam bands used to do. A better idea, of course, would be to have ideas in your mind, thinking a few steps ahead of where you're already at, and, thinking about where you want to take it. It's more fun that way. Like just going, all right, well, that's a C, so I'll play C major. I mean, that's cute and all, but I mean, you can do so much more with it. Stuff like that. Just enjoy, play around with the space. Now, the more of these little positional shifting things that these different scales, and keep in mind, for me, these are just shapes. So when I talk about this shape, or in our friend's case, the G sharp version, which is the same shapes but 1 fret higher, these locking together, again, create one big shape across the fretboard. Some things are easier to play than others. G is easier to play than G sharp just because of more open string possibilities. A also is a little easier. You got all the strings available to you that are open except for the G string, which will either be G sharp or F sharp, but you don't get a G in there naturally. You can add one, make it kind of interesting. So let's see. See how that shifts the tonality a little bit? Takes it out of the key, brings it back in a little bit. It's kind of neat. You know, you're adding a flat too. You're taking the key from, I mean, either A major dash F sharp Aeolian. You take it, add a little seasoning of a G that isn't there, and that can take it either to Phrygian or Locrian territory, either way. You also have these available. But it's just that one note that kind of removes it from that territory. Fun. Anyway, very chatty audience tonight. But the idea behind those being like the same that I was talking about before is that there are only 7 scales. And of those 7 scales in the Greek modes, classical Greek modes, you know, the Aeolian, that's starting on the 6th, the Locrian, the Ionian, the Dorian, the Phrygian, and all that kind of stuff. Each one is just built off the major scale. And how is it built off the major scale? It's a scale built off of each successive note. So if you know this scale, or all 6-string iteration, if I started here and just played the same notes, same thing goes for here. And, you know, keep going. Oh, hey! How you been, man? I see you there. What's up? I don't know. I'm just talking about how scales connect and how playing scales alone by themselves doesn't really determine the key. I was also talking about King Diamond's T earlier on, which actually is kind of an interesting piece unto itself. And it's really freaking hot in here. I got AC in the other room, but not here. And I think it's probably 26C in here. So that's actually quite warm. But it is cooling down outside, and shortly I'll be able to hit the fan and, you know, make myself cooler. My cat looks like he's seen better days, but he's alive and I'm a happy boy. There he is. And yes, the move, good. Hopper came right along. He's even gaining a little weight, which is really good to hear. See. Anyway. And I've been playing with this thing called a quad cortex. No, I haven't. Sorry, the nano cortex, which is really nice. Let's change tones, shall we? This is a pretty nifty little device, and it's got some nifty things in it. So that one's just the GK250ML start. Got this one Mesa thing here. Yeah, tired, definitely. Same here. Yeah, summer isn't really halfway over. It's not going to get cool for another month. Usually, at least over here, August is the most abusive month. And I mean that by humidity. Now, over on the East Coast, you guys have humidity like all the time. We have humidity that starts about July and gets really humid around August, and then after August, it's kind of like, oh, wow, we've nice crisp air again, somewhere around the 26th of September. So, Let's see. Chance need to be sent twice to go through. Learn most of Tornado Souls. Good for you, dude. Well done. Let's see. First part of the solo is so fast. First part of the solo's got some real interesting stuff, but it's kind of like levels. So for me, when I did the tornado thing, I kind of did level 1, level 2, level 3. You know, final level, like the final boss, Marty Friedman. When he does that kind of crazy. What is that? How does that? Something like that. Oh yeah, type of deal. And but it's yeah the last part. Sorry, I thought you said first part. Yeah, the Ben Eller, excellent thing on that. I would recommend that. But then I would also watch Marty play it live a couple of times, and I want you to notice Marty back in the day does play that. All right, whatever. Anyway, I want you to notice that Marty back in the day, like 1992, 93, you know, his tours, stuff like that, would play that. Nowadays, he avoids it like the plague. He does not play the super crazy, you know, the nutty part. But he does play other stuffs. But that whole, you know... How did that go? Something like that. Yeah, Good. Very excellent. This... Very cool. And I think you just... Something like that. Yeah, good times. Very, very cool. And, oh, this part, that, plays an octave, so... Something like that. No. Then off to the that's tough. You got to have like Buick-sized hands for that stuff. Something like that. But and then the nutty part. No attempt here made. Not a chance. Forget about that. But the solo is not the rhythms. The rhythms, on the other hand, have some really interesting quirks to it too. I've seen people play it here. That. Nope. And you can hear the difference in tone immediately. Nope. Much better. Much more accurate. Played 7th fret. Oh, that part. Remember, by the way, watch the right hand. That's all, you know. Let's go back to something else. Maybe it's... I'll figure it out again if I need to. I might need to. Well, let's try moving some stuff along here. Oh, that's nice. A little low. There we go. Yeah. By the way, again, of course, not endorsed by the Neural DSP folks, but this little Nano Cortex is amazing. So, I wish I bought this when it came out because of what it can do now. But I didn't. But it does make me want to get the older brother, you know, the Quad Cortex. It's not really the older brother. It's not even a dad. It's more like the grandpa. So, but he can do a whole bunch more stuff. So, anyway, good times. No, you know, I wouldn't count months. What you're saying here, you learn the part, but it's physically playing up to speed that's tough. There are other ways of picking that. So instead of the... you just get used to doing that. Nope, Nano Cortex is a about that big, and it looks kind of like a quad Cortex. It's... let me just do this. Let's see a bunch of me. Hi, how you doing? Nano Cortex, hello. It's this guy. Teeny tiny little thing. And when I say teeny tiny, I'm talking about like that big. No joke. I would show you, but I don't want to move the camera. I can pick it up, but it's got very short cables attached to it. That little thing is just a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous little deal. The only thing I really don't care for is that you have to use a tablet or a phone to really mess with anything. It's got a few things you could do with it. Again, I think this is the only failing. It does not have a, like a PC app or a Mac app that you can just connect to it on a computer and adjust things. I do think that when they, and that's a known thing, they are apparently working on that. But when they get that done, dude, that's going to be it. That's going to be the thing. So, yeah. Anyway, $549 is a reasonable price for this unit. I would have preferred it to be the $400 it was before they raised the price before the end of the year, this last year, but life goes on. So let's go back to the main here. There we go. Well, things seem to be getting a wee bit brighter there. There we go. But yeah. I'm glad for you, man. Very cool. I don't have a direct way of muting this except for going like so. I'm going to fetch my... I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to fetch my other Ibanez here really quick. It's a lovely instrument, really. That Charvel's got mojo. I don't even believe in the term, but it's got it. In spades. Let's put that in there. There we go. So the way I've got this set up now is a little bit different than I had it set up before. Whereas before I had main guitar that was plugged into computer here. I had guitars that were plugged into the Ironheart in the back, which is the Ironheart's over there. It's still alive. Now I just have both guitars plugged into the interfaces of this. Right now is plugged into the Nano Cortex. That's plugged into nothing, but it was plugged into the Nano Cortex, which is going directly into my interface, which everybody can hear. This was going into Reaper, essentially. This is a kitty. Hello, Hoppy. There's my buddy. Yeah, it's a hot one in here, isn't it? Oh, what other live streams, though, have you been frequenting? Maybe I could learn a thing or two myself. No. Well, let's see here. According to this, it's an RGIX DLB. So it's one of those iron labels. And I'm not sure if the IX means 6, means 9, so RG96 DLB. But it is what it is. And I will tell you this, if you do get an opportunity to get one, they did make them in 2 colors. This being one, and the other one was a little more purple. If I find another one that is a little more purple, I'll be getting that too. Pickups are actually great in it. It's the same as the ones I have over there in the other Iron Label series that I've got. It's just the Fusion Edge pickups. They actually sound really, really good. There's no reason to change them. So this is a lovely playing instrument, though. It's one of the best I've got. And I didn't even do anything to it. That's the coolest part, is I just bought it, and it's great. It is a beast of a guitar. It plays quite lovely. Sounds good. It's got a very positive feel where it kind of encourages you. It's a weird kind of symbiotic thing where the guitar encourages you to play faster. You can play me faster. You can do this. No, you didn't get it right this time, but yeah, you can try it again. You want to try it again. You can do it on me. It's got that kind of a reciprocal thing. Oh, another neat thing that happened recently, without divulging names or anything, I actually gave a personal guitar lesson not too long ago. Like in this room. This is the difference between Kirk that was married versus Kirk that's divorced. Is that my house is once again open to all people. You show up, you want to come in, you want to hang out, talk, play some cards. Oh, you want to play guitar? Okay, we'll play guitar. What do you want to play? You want to what? You want to do this? Type of deal. It's kind of neat. Yeah, I sure can do that. I actually went pretty well. I had to adjust my coaching style because I'm not a teacher, I'm a coach. I think that there's a major difference, and coaching versus actually, dude. So all right, the AZ24S1F is the lower cost version, and I'm looking at one of those myself. I have enough instruments, and I'm really good with what I got. In fact, between these two and that purple Strat that I got the other week, and maybe just a couple more, I kind of don't need anything else that I have. These guys do it all. But that's what you're talking about. Where are you? You're right here. No, you're not. You're right here. Is essentially this guy that I picked up in January with stuff on it. There we go. And this is an excellent instrument. Lovely, lovely guitar. Some of the best pickups I've ever heard of it. That's the lower cost variant. It does not have the same pickups in it. You may consider trading them out for something. You may consider getting some fretwork done. But other than the fact that it's a 6-point trim as opposed to a 2-point trim, this is what you're looking at here. I've got you right here. Hold on. 6-point trim as opposed to a 2-point trim. In fact, let's go to Figs. Oh shit, that's loud. Sorry about the volume. Anyway, what I was saying is that these are essentially the same guitars. The pickups are different. The way the... No, it wasn't open to everybody before. I'll get to that in a second. But the pickups are different in the lower cost model. The tremolo is different. I'm not sure if that's a Gotoh or not. This is definitely... And Ibanez and Gotoh are kind of the same. Gotoh makes Ibanez stuffs. So there you go. Or at least Gotoh and Ibanez kind of... Well, Ibanez owns Gotoh, so there you are. It's their manufacturing arm for hardware. But this is a 2-point trim. That is a vintage 6-point. They do play very similarly. They have very similar neck profiles, and they have similar fretboard profiles. So cost is a little around half of these. I personally prefer the Tobacco Burst, and I've been looking at that for a while myself. So, but very, very good guitars. So let's scoot on down here. That's pretty, but they do have more than that color available. Anyway, I don't exactly know what that means. 6 versus 2 point. So 2 point means like a Floyd. It has a point here and a point there. It's what's considered a modern tremolo. With the 2 points here, less friction. 6 is one screw for each string holding it down, kind of like a Strat. A vintage Strat. Modern Strats have 2 points. Most of them do. Let's go back to the original from earlier today. Not really. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to do a lot of whammying, so, stuff like that. 2. 6 is more for just straight up vibrato. So. I told you, these are really good pickups. Apparently, the pickups that are here, all of them on this particular series, were like hand wound by MJ or something like that, specifically for Ibanez, but they have rudiments of like a Pegasus Sentient set. It's not the same, but it's got that DNA in there. So, but yeah, I'm pretty fond of the tones that I'm getting out of these things myself. Anyway, let's move on with that. So, so not exactly 6.2 point trim. Open to everyone before. No, when I was married, my wife, for years and years and years and years, had kind of a social phobia. Even if everything in our house was brand new and perfectly clean, she would still be like paralyzed with fear that someone might enter our house and, look at our, ooh, I'm scared, we have stuff. It's irrational fear of people coming over. And so I inadvertently enabled that by just, keeping the marriage nice and happy. She doesn't want people over. Most of the time people didn't come over. So if somebody said, I'd like to come by, I'm like, yeah, you can't. We as me now, accept all comers. You want to stop by? Come on over. It's fine. Yeah, you can't stay, but as long as it's within my hours of being home and not asleep, yeah, I don't mind company, and I love company. Company is great. So that's fine. So you want to get a floating. Well, even the 6 point is technically considered floating. Unless you really just get those screws really as tight as humanly possible, and then take the springs in the back and then, push them all the way forward. That kind of locks it in place. Floating tremolo, this is considered a floating tremolo. It's got pullback. Yeah, I'm happy for me too. It took a while to get there. Yeah, so the guy that came over, it was an old buddy of mine. He used to talk a lot. He was one of the groomsmen at the wedding that I went to in Arizona, John, and he was like, "Show me," and this is where it really kind of gets off. Is from where I'm at now, how did I get here? Give me a roadmap. What did you do exactly? I'm like, that's 37 years of playing, dude. So, yes, she essentially lives in the room that I used to broadcast from and do all my videos in. She painted the whole thing kind of a mint green and lives in there while the kids took over the upstairs of the house, and that's that. It's a humorous story. So I went over there to pick up a few things this last week, and I took some boxes to throw away because I can, and I did, and she wasn't happy about it. It's trying to charge me money. So I owe her $5 for the amount of space that I took. She didn't ask for the $5. I'm like, look, for the amount of space that I took, I owe you like $5, and that includes a tip. So she did laugh at that. I think that's the last time within 2 weeks that we talked. It's the only time. And then prior to that, let's see, we're going over get some stuff. Marcus is doing well. He's a good boy. What else though? I didn't say anything. Oh yeah, I washed my car while I was over there. That was weird to other people, but to me, it's like, look, my name is still on the what is that? On the title of the house. So until it sells, it's still mine. So, in a way. What do I want to play? Fun. Anyway, so I made up a quick routine based on a bunch of stuff that I used to play. Hey, David, how you doing? Yeah, these are great. Ibanez doesn't make a bad guitar, in my opinion. But this is a good one. I picked this one up in January. What can I say about it? Some of the best sounding pickups I've ever heard. Plays very comfortably. Actually encourages me to be a little sloppy, so please forgive my playing. But so I set about doing let's find a different pick. The Eric Johnson Jazz 3s. Fine. But what I was able to show him was like, all right, so play with a metronome. When I was 18, this is what I would do. Do this. And we'll start slower. So we'll start on one string even. And we'll play, fours, groups of fours. And just go. Oh, did I? Sorry about that. Oh boy, where is it? How above? Ah, right there. Can I play any Bach? Yeah. If we're just talking about things like... Maybe not today. That kind of thing, sure. That's more Gary Hoey's Desire, you know. Other things like, well, let's see. Let's see if I can get a clean tone on this. Give me a second. That's kind of a bass sound, but we'll do what we can with that. Yeah, very much so. Very bassy. Hold on. Start to clean and simple. Yes. There we go. 1 second. And this is the hardest chord in the world. Actually. How did that go? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't played it in a long time, but that's essentially Bach. I'm getting kind of inundated here. So here, give me a second. Oh, shoot. Looking good. Why, thank you. Didn't pick that up. That's okay. I'll just say, why, thank you. And send a big cheesy grin in return. What do you say? I say so. Here we go. Yeah. Quick sales, gonna keep moving to college a couple of weeks. Okay. Well, at any rate, so we concentrated on doing. What am I doing with that? Let's go back to Maine. And I'm reminded of Megadeth for some reason. Well, this. So for me, I'm more reminded of King Diamond, which is pretty much this. There is some Megadeth like that, though, if you go back to the Metallica days, which is... How did that... Oh, my goodness. How did that go? Something like that, yeah. That's it. It took me a while there, right? Oh, thank you. Megadeth has also done other things like this with Mary Jane. Excuse me, G. And let's see. Beautiful music. Did Dave know music? I think Dave knows some music theory. Sounds like it to me. Going on with the other things he's done, like yeah. Stuff like that. Dave's done a lot of stuff like that. So I think Dave was a fan of Bach way back in the day. So not way back in the day, but back enough. Well, that's much louder. Sorry about that. And one of the things that I'm thinking about getting is a small limiter. Let's see, what are the values? I did learn and this was for chicken picking purposes. Something like that. I haven't played that since 2010, so sorry. It's been a long time. So. But the regimen that I was getting John on just basically starts with rudiments. In the case of getting him going, it's good news for you. I would love to hear your good news, man. What you got? But in the meantime, while you're typing that, I'm going to go ahead and do the rudiments thing. Fours, grouping of fours on a single string, accenting the one. And you can hear that pretty clearly, I think. Right? What do you got here? Ultimate Guitar no longer allows Guitar Pro tabs download since the past few months. Discovered recently. You got to pay their yearly subscription. Well, another reason not to use them. Let's see, which many folks don't like since those tabs were free user uploads. Well, now I understand that completely because at that point they're monetizing the services of contributors that are not paid for those services. So, right. So that would be like me starting a business and having only volunteers and never paying them, but getting paid for the service that I'm providing other people, which weren't actually involved in the creation of the service. It's like the slavery model. It's probably why it's not popular. So you can't see if a company starts out being one way and then decides to go another route. I'm really kind of fucked off about that. I want to say I really don't like that. If you get bought out and terms and conditions change, I get it. Okay, fine. But there should be a grandfather clause to, like, all right, whoever was a member beforehand, you get grandfathered in, because, you know, it would be really crap of us to charge you for things that used to be free because they were contributed freely by other members with the intent of free distribution. The neat part is the contributors for those things, even though I'm against tabs generally, the contributors for those things can go to other websites, like, let's say, Metal Tabs, or let's see, even Songster, which I got in an argument with once on here before I blocked them, because, you know, they're just like, no, tabs. Of course they are. They're selling themselves. I'm just selling freedom. There's a difference. But yeah, they can go ahead and contribute those same tabs to other sites, unless if Ultimate Guitar wanted to be really crappy about that, they could take those tabs and they could copyright those tabs, or at least trademark them underneath their own, like, umbrella, like, trademark deal. So where if you take that tab and upload it to them, they own the rights to it. So if you take that and then upload it to somebody else, that could be flagged by Guitar, because that's the way YouTube does it. That can be flagged by Guitar, or what is it, Ultimate Guitar, as being like an infringement. Nope, those are our tabs. They can only be on our site. And if they're monetizing that crap, they actually can do that. And that's one of the reasons why our copyright law needs to change. That Digital Millennium Copyright Act just screwed stuff up, made things worse. So, anyway, my humble opinion. Well, you know what you can do in lieu of uploading or downloading, that is you can take screenshots. If you have a Windows PC, what is that? Shift Windows S, and, you know, crop and save it as a JPEG. So there's ways around everything. You can even, you know, get OBS Studio up, record your screen, and just kind of scroll down, you know, for each part, and then you'd have it all, and you can pause your video anytime you want. Or you could do the really, really cool thing and just use your ears. There was a video posted by Bill a couple of weeks ago, who I confessed I haven't watched a lot of in recent times. Doing well. We are doing a collab together at some point. I haven't really had time to. I guess I had time right now, but I'd rather stream than commit to it. But we have a collab coming up. But my whole thing there is he couldn't. Or he wasn't. He was. Somebody challenged him to do like a specific thing that SpongeBob had done. He was like, "No, I'm waiting for the tabs." And I think that's a funny joke, because I don't think he really uses tabs either. But waiting for the tabs, and so I uploaded a really quick video just for him personally. I'm like, "No tabs," and I played the thing. So it's pretty neat. But you know, he knows. I'm sure that he doesn't actually use tabs. He just didn't want to go through the motions. It may have even been low-key, like a challenge to me. It's like, Kirk, figure out the SpongeBob thing. So, something like that. Yes. And this is, which is very cool. Well, it's a 7. That's it. It's played a lot faster, but that's essentially what it was. That was really kind of cute. But that's the whole thing. You're waiting for tabs? Don't wait for tabs. Use your ears. Use your ears instead. You'll never have to wait for tabs again. You'll never have to wait for the efforts of others. You can put it in for yourself. One other thing on top of that makes it even cooler is it's more of a conversational thing, whereas you are getting a piece really kind of delivered direct injection into your brain about what other guitarists are thinking while they're playing. You can really get a sense of them, you know. You can understand them better, as opposed to just kind of reading it. It would be like if you're listening to a speech, a great speech, you know, Winston Churchill, or you know, a great figure of history saying something that's really really you know, meaningful and powerful. You know, 77 years ago, Lincoln, for instance, our forefathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, blah, 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 you know, conceived in liberty and all that kind of good stuff. Well, instead of just reading it and trying to imagine how he sounded it, or listening to it and having to read this to understand what he's saying, that's what it really is. It's kind of like you listen to somebody say the thing. And you speak the language, right? So, I mean, I speak the language, you speak the language, we all speak the language. It's a great thing. Listen to somebody do the speech and then say, yes, great, I'd like to do the speech too. Can I have a transcript of the speech? It's not going to deliver the nuance that the speech, learning the speech, how their speech patterns. You want to talk like John Wayne, you're going to have to do the accent. If they speak in a British accent, for instance, you're going to have one of those. Or an Irish accent, for instance, you'll have to speak Irish. I can't do it right now, but if I said they're after me Lucky Charms, it'd be a whole lot closer, I guarantee it. But no, that's all right. See, what you're saying there is you're giving yourself an excuse to be mediocre. I'm going to call you on that. I don't always have the patience. Learn it. Learn the patience. There's no excuse, man. Either you want to be able to play well or you don't. And using your ears is fundamental to playing well. So what else you got there? We did talk about how a great experience with the keyboard. No, I don't think we did. Ultimately, I like how you're changing the subject, though. Learn with your ears. So let's see. Yes, faster. Enjoyed your experience. Okie dokie. Yes, exactly. Okie dokie. That's right. So back to what I was saying a long time ago with the. So our goal with that is to play fours and accenting the one, then shifting up. Playing as accurately as possible, so slowly and with a metronome. And so forth. When you get comfortable with that, go up a string. 3 strings, 4 strings. Skip. Not today. But, you know, the general idea is there. What is that? Yeah. I haven't touched that in 20 years. So, but this basic thing is more Petrucciate's, you know. But that was the thing. Go with that. Then the other one was like a 2-string exercise. Skipping. Another one was triplets. Second group of fingers. And so forth. But that one's an interesting, challenging one. But you know, up 3, and you know, 2 strings, and you get used to the 4s. You want to play 4s, but it's 3. Screwy stuff like that. Anyway, I gave him those. I didn't give him the legato stuff. One of the things I did say was, all right, you need to work on a stretch. Great, put this behind here. You know, play everything you know with one finger behind the neck. You know, so if we're doing the. How did that go? No. Yeah. But it would be like this. You know, just play everything you know with one finger behind the neck. That's a tough one. Here, let me get back over to here, and I'll get a more gainy sound. Actually, let's switch back to the Ibanez over here. Put this guy up. Good times. Say, wee, and. Back to it. Well, actually, back to it for another couple of minutes. Are we disconnected again? Oh, well, yeah. You gotta stay on this thing. That's the weirdest part. There we go. Good. Ooh. Okay, so 3s and 4s keeps your picking kind of even. Let's say if you think about that. So down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That'll change things up. Down, up, 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 down. Wow, something like that. Unless we're doing... That's a little different. Personally, I like to stay... if we're... No, not today. Yes. This might take a while. No, that ain't gonna happen today. So, note to self, practice 4-note per string wankery. Going to be better by next week. Underline exclamation point. So, yes, your upstrokes keep improving. You find you're holding your pick more horizontal, not so much slanted as before. Really? You think that's an improvement? I'm not suggesting it's not an improvement, but I am going to say that I think that's kind of strange, at least for my ears. If I'm playing like this, which is my normal thing, one foot kind of back, the other foot elevated on a classical rest, my guitar is going to be more horizontal level. It's kind of a classical position anyway. That my pick, when I hold it just naturally, is going to be at about a 45-degree angle to the body of the guitar. So, or to the strings, that is. So, this, much better. I am happy to hear that you are, getting an improvement out of it. If we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think you'll find that trying to keep things in kind of the same picking patterns when you're crossing strings might help tremendously. I mean, I'm not sure if that's something that you've thought about or you're trying to do, but trying to lock things into specific positions without going completely, alternate picked does help certain circumstances. Like what I was just playing there is in 7. Because it's... If I go back down, that... This starts with an upstroke now. Doesn't quite have the same effect. It's also more difficult. If you jump down with another downstroke, and start it the same way you started the first down. You can even do harmonic minor if you'd prefer. Well, okay, so break the barrier in a different way. Instead of speeding up to it, try to break the barrier by just playing literally as fast. It's kind of like letting go and just playing as fast as you can, even if it's wrong. This whole thing with the... just pick as fast as you can. This does work. Okay, I'm tremolo picking now. You can only go as fast as you can go. So, go as fast as you can go. Try to keep the pick centered on the string. Don't go too much in either direction. You're not doing the Van Halen type of thing. You're just keeping it real close to it. Start playing things like that. And start doing things like this. So... get a little more gain on that. Not even joking. Play as fast as you can, and it'll kind of clean up later. It's it's not the best solution, but it's a really good solution because there are some physical hang-ups with the typical way that we are kind of geared to practice. So if we were to down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You know, the classical, and when I say classical, I'm talking about the last 80 years of absolute, you know, strict alternate picking. There are some real limitations to that. Crossing a string on the outside is never going to be as efficient as crossing the string on the inside. So if you're just doing down, up, down, down, up, down, it's better. It's just better. It's cleaner. It's easier to affect. It doesn't take as much energy. You're allowing yourself to play significantly faster things than you otherwise would be able to. Do I enjoy the guitar more or music more? Yeah. So, let me explain it this way. I kind of explained it this way to somebody else earlier, and I'm not sure how it impacted, but I feel like the guitar for me is an intrinsic quality of me. You know, if you remove this, it would be like taking an arm off, or a leg, or a component or a facet of my personality. If you took away the guitar, and it would be like taking away my snark, for instance, or my sassiness, or my weird ability to learn things that I don't need to know to have a crazy bank of useless trivia. So it would just be a part of me that isn't there. So I love guitar, but I think guitar for me is like, it's intrinsic. Whereas music is, a love of mine. It's a passion. I absolutely adore it, but I love other aspects of it besides how it makes me feel. I like knowing the history of it, and I mean, that's more academic, I get it, but it's part of it to me. It's like I listen to a guitar player, just like I was doing with the Kirk Hammett thing last week. That whole, let's see. And going from, all right, so here we're Michael Schenker, and we end it like Tony Iommi. It's knowing the history of all that, you know, who are they listening to? Ooh, it sounds like this. Well, he was also listening to Dave Mustaine because of the album beforehand. He was playing a lot of Dave licks. But it's just, yeah. So yeah, Paul Gilbert, master of crossing the outside. Yeah, the thing about Paul is Paul and Al Di Meola. They're really kind of unshakable characters. But they also had the benefit of starting early, doing, you know, a lot of string crossing things. You could totally do that. If you're going to do that, use thick strings and relatively thick picks. Not huge. I mean, right now I'm using a 1.2 millimeter, but you know, you could use thinner. You could use 1 millimeter. You use a .88. These are great. That sucked. But anyway, nevertheless, I mean, you could use all sorts of things, and it would be, you know, just an interesting mix about trying to find what really works for you as far as what the picking is concerned. You could play farther back, and you know, has the same effect as thicker strings. You can play far forward; it has the same effect as thinner strings. You know, there's going to be more movement or less movement. You know, so finding just the right spot to, or you know, as another one, play things like Black Magic. You know. And when you're doing that, make sure it's rhythmic. That you're really keeping that rhythm. One. Just like here. Nope. It just means that you may have a sharp spot depending on where it broke. I mean, it could be an awful lot of things, but you know, how hard did you whack the string? Is really good. This particular tone is modeled after the IRT that I was using back when I was, playing at the old place. Just remember, it's not so much how fast you can play leads. Leads speeds will come in time. But dude, I'm feeling great today. I'm hot as all get out. I feel like all loosey goosey and stuff. You can tell though that this farmer's tan. I've got some sun recently. You should see my legs. They're red as lobsters. It's amazing, and it's only like this half over here and this half over. I went to a baseball game yesterday. Was out in the sun for like 4 hours. It was really cool. Fun stuff. Push the notes around. Have fun with them. Just play. So what I was saying is about this whole like guitar-y type of stuff that we're all working on here together. Is speed comes in time, but there are things that you can practice that can help you out with that. And to break out of that whole speed barrier thing, this point where your two hands just click. Depending on what it is you're doing, of course. Rhythms help with that. So if you're doing a lot of speed bursts with your rhythms, like what I was just doing with Black Magic. Slayer, by the way, if you didn't know. And then play it at the correct speed. How did that go? Been a long time, and I remember none of it. There's other things like Vengeance, for instance, but that's Nuclear Assault. It's a little more. How did that go? Yes, that's it. I think it's. Yeah, try that. That's it. What is that? More Metallica, get speedy, with the picking hand. What would that be? Something like that. Been a long time for that one too. We're gonna figure out key of a song recently. Keep playing one note, of course. Okay, yes. For anybody reading that, it is a good way of doing it. Let's see. Should help to know other chords. Figure out songs faster. Yes. But to me, that's not a matter of hearing chords. That's a matter of hearing. Let's try this one. There we go. Ambience. It's a matter of hearing tones in consonance or dissonance with each other. So that would be like intervals. If I can hear and figure out this note separately from that note, I've got something going on. All right, so I hear it's easier, of course, if you're not actually hearing them together, because a guitar playing this two notes at a time, it's going to have a particular sound. But when you're harmonizing, you're not going to hear that sound in the same way. So, what was that? G? Because this sounds like a chord when played on a single guitar. Sounds like two notes played separately when you're talking about like the harmony parts for the... that. Different. It's going to sound different. So, but yeah, it's learning to hear two notes or more separately. So for a complex chord, A minor, I can hear those two sounds and go, all right, let's fill in the blanks. Is there a fifth in that chord? Do I hear? Okay, if I do, great. There's probably an octave in there too. Because another part about figuring things out is learning the playing habits of guitar players. And because we all learn from other guitar players, a lot of our playing habits are, kind of similar. So if you're going to hear an A minor chord, or an E minor chord, it's probably going to sound like this. Or this, if it's an A minor. Or here. If you hear the top note, that's an A. It's probably going to be played in this position. Or here, with that played open. Just like with, what song is that? Oh, it's getting weaker. Excuse me. So, I mean, it's not so much, again, like just knowing chords. That could be helpful. I mean, like this 13, minor 9. It's an alt. Really, it's major, flat 7, so that's dominant. And you're adding a G to that, which would be a flat 9. Standard 9, flat 9. Good stuff, but no, any chord can be kind of divvied up. And by the way, some strings are better at allowing that kind of thing through, and some guitar tones are much better at allowing that kind of thing through than others. The hardest stuff I've ever tried to figure out that isn't like modern death metal or death anything, because of the low tunings plus the way things are kind of, all the guitars, are ducked underneath the drums. And so the drums wind up being this massively loud, blast beat, and you really can't hear what's going on underneath. There's some guitars. You might be able to pick out some things, but you can't really, and it's because of modern production techniques. Classic production techniques don't have a problem, but and tended to, at least musicians back then tended to play at least a little bit slower in the rhythm department, which makes it a lot easier. But one of the things that I've always had kind of a problem with is like super scooped tones. If you get rid of the guitar's mid-range, which is kind of where the guitar lives in the mid-range, then the guitar is going to be much harder to pick out. So Souls of Black from Testament is always extremely hard for me. It's like, what are they playing? Yeah, I can barely, all I hear is a wall of like white noise. You can hear a few notes, but it's all just like somebody's crunching on celery. It's extremely, in there. And so it's really difficult for me to figure that stuff out. But these are my limitations. They don't necessarily have to be yours. Now, if you get isolated guitar tracks and punch up the mid-range, it'd probably be easier to figure out. But yeah, I mean, there's tricks, there's ways, but that's one I'm not looking forward to trying to do at some point in the future. Not the song Souls of Black. The Absence of Light would be the one I would want to do. But yeah, crunching celery, that's not a joke. The late 80s and early 90s were filled with, now how much mids can we scoop out? Now if we put 2 graphic EQs on this plus a parametric, can we completely remove? Can we like bring that to zero molecular movement on the mids? Yeah. It's dumb. You don't want to do that. I mean, even some of the scoop stuff from like Metallica or Megadeth back in the day still have mids, and that's why it sounds like a guitar. That's why it sounds heavy. It's not just. I mean, these are like suffocation level no mids. Oh well, I shouldn't do it there. I should do it. But even yeah. You know exactly what they are. Good for you. So. Intervals that might give you problems are ones that are natural cousins. Like you've heard of mediant, submediant, dominant, subdominant, stuff like that. And the reason why there are doms and subs, right? The reason why you might have a problem with a sixth, let's say, versus a 3. It's 3. If we're playing as a root, maybe. And the 6 would be the same note, but higher. Or, as they are the same notes, it's just they're playing them in different ways. So I could even say this, do this as a 3rd. Very common. And I'll play that down here. We're playing in 6th. So they're effectively the same notes. They're just an octave, apart. They're just different. Now that isn't technically a 6th played here. This is a 6th position. If we were playing off of G, that would be a 6th. F sharp. Fine. But if we're playing off these as roots, that would be a little more. This would be a 6th, I guess. But here, like I said, but they're the same. They're just in different octaves. That's all it is. So this is, the 6th of E. It would be a flat 6. But an octave down is like C major 3rd. So. Same type of stuff. So that gives me problems a little bit. Another one that gives me trouble is sometimes chords are just whacked out. That kind of thing. That's nuts. Coroner. I mean, who wants to do that? Check my Discord. Those two intervals sound very similar to you. Okay, hold on. Coming up. I confess I am checking this. I am only checking this about once a week, and it's not installed on my phone right now. Well, actually, I just installed it on my phone today. New phone. So what do you got here? Okay, so what I'm seeing there is a 3rd, I think, actually. 5th. And what else do we have here? There we go. And this. So you can practice In the Name of Love. In the name of love. Hey, what? So why does this, though, sound familiar or similar to that? You're always one note away from where you want to be if you're in the wrong place. So this is a 5th also. 4, 5. But these are the same notes. This 5th, 4th. If that's your root, this note is a 4th away, or a 5th down. Same goes with this. excuse me, fourth down, fifth up. See, you got that? So, as far as these are concerned, but anyway, that's why it can be confusing, is because they're effectively, well, they can be the same as far as the like intervals are concerned. Like they're, Pastor Chris, how you doing, sir? So hello. So as I was saying, so frets 5 on G here, and let's see, 8 on B, which would be a G note, and 8. Let's see, and 7 on G, and 8 on B. So again, think about this. When you have one note that's really a fifth apart from another, you can do some stacking. This is a C. You think of it as a power chord. Let's see. Where is this? This is all, that's from Victimized, King Diamond. So, but this, nice. All together. Nice minor flat 7. Just a neat way of playing it, right? So this, I don't hear them as the same because this is a G. And this is a C. But they are fourth apart. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or fourth apart that way. Or a fifth apart. Depending on which way you're going. And depending on which key you're playing in, all that kind of good stuff. But for the way I see it, I see them as kind of different but the same. That's just a C. That's a G. So I always look at the chord from where am I playing the fifth? So if it's here, that's a fifth away. There's your actual chord. It's like this. So then there, you know, this. Why not? Fun with it. Listening reminded me how Devin Townsend plays things. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. It's just a matter of, how I'm looking at it, though. I'm sure other people look at it in the same way, but yeah, let's see. Oh, so think the lower notes that comes before. Yeah, I tend to. So I know I'm kind of jumping around a bit, but let me try to stick with that. I know Devin plays it in weird tunings too, by the way. It's the like G, C, G, C, G, C, like all the way down or something, C, G, C, G, whatever it is, but it's all the way down. So you get really neat kind of colorations of sound by, kind of moving your hands around in kind of common shapes, but at that point they'll make uncommon sounds. For us, try doing things like that. Anyway, this, if that's a fourth apart, which it is, there will be other notes below it that will, comprise a root. That's an inversion, for instance. Oh, it's very weird. It's cute. So I am in standard, yes. I don't know how standard I am. Let's figure that out. What the heck's the tuner on this thing? I'd say standard. Get back to game. Ooh, no. Ooh, no. Going back to my original presets from earlier on today. There we go. It's a nice sound. Should be a resounding thing there. Oops. A lot of play right there. Yep. All right, Zuhair. It's good to see you again, man. You've had enough of me. Yes, of course you have. I will stay safe. I'll take care. You stay safe and take care out there. And by all means, play faster. You know, get those chops up there. Outplay yourself. I think that's what I'm trying to really tell you. So you'll eventually catch up. And play weird things. Good tones. Really liking that. So again, the amp that's emulated here is a Gallon-Kruger 250 ml. Apparently, it's what all the big stars used back in the 80s. Like, you know, yes, you hear about Rush and whatnot. And, but the big one, of course, would be Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. But King Diamond used them too. So, which is why the whole... thing. But especially with the leads, you know. I'm no longer playing right. Yeah, gonna Probably calling it a night would be a good idea. It's past my bedtime anyway. So to all of those out there that have stopped in, thanks very much. We went from a very bright environment to a dim environment with very bright lights. So anyway, I really thank you all for stopping by. And I will see you all again next Monday, without fail. I think this is going to be a return to form. I don't know so much about Saturdays, but Mondays for sure. I promise you, I will not spam you with videos continually. Randomness stuff's here and there, but the Monday thing's going to stay. And also, be looking for covers because those are coming. And if I was any indication playing-wise today of what some of those would be, you can figure out from there where it's coming or what's on its way. But there will be more. There will be more. I'm in a good place for it now. Happy. I've got time. Well, at least a little bit. But be well out there. Please take care of yourselves. And again, thanks for stopping by. Oh yeah, and I'll do the normal thing that most people absolutely loathe about YouTube and whatnot. I certainly do. Like, share if you like the stuff, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy. Listening to music on your own time. Ask questions if you got them. I'll probably be snarky about the answers, but nevertheless. Take care, everybody. Good night.